In lean solutions, let us talk about mistake proofing. Mistake proofing is also known as Poka Yoke. In Japanese, it means foolproofing. Even a foolish person cannot commit a mistake. So you devise a system such that errors can't be committed even if you want to commit an error. Mistakes usually occur through a number of sources like human error, equipment error, or improper parts or materials. Human error can occur due to processing wrong material or workpiece, not following standardized practices or procedures, or not maintaining the equipment. Equipment error means improper setup, adjustment error, excessive wear, poor maintenance, overburden, uneven production. All these might lead to defective products. Improper parts or materials include missing parts, wrong parts, or maybe defective parts. Mistake-proofing devices help to reduce or eliminate mistakes made by a human, equipment, or parts error. Examples of mistake-proofing devices include control devices, warning devices, and shutdown devices. Control devices use the ability to process items by their characteristics, like checking the dimensions, shape, weight, or volume. Warning devices signal the abnormalities in the process. For example, alarm or visual controls that signal when part or material is out of spec or a defect has occurred. Shutdown devices use the ability to stop when defect is identified. Some of the examples could be process stop buttons or interlinking cord system, limit switches, scales, counters, guides, etc. Let us take some examples. Here is an example of control device. We are talking about an operation of electrical plate hole punching. Before applying mistake proofing, it was noticed that the holes in the electrical plates were being punched on the wrong side. So Poka Yoke was applied and guide pin was installed in fixture to allow plate to be placed into jig in only one direction. So the operator won't be able to place the plate in the wrong way and holes will be always punched on the right side. Here is an example of a warning device. It talks about the fill paint cans operations. Before the improvement, the paint fill level in gallon cans was not reaching the fill specification. As a mistake-proofing device, we installed a scale with alarm signal under fill platform to check volume of paint by weight. When paint does not reach proper level, alarm sounds and the operation is stopped. Here is one more example of mistake-proofing device. In the computer connections, we are not able to connect in the wrong way because of these pins and the holes. In data entry, we have an example of control device where the data entry screen won't advance until all fields are properly completed. Another day-to-day life example is SIM cards. You would notice a cut on a SIM card. This is to prevent the user from inserting the card in the wrong direction. Some more everyday examples are many cars won't start unless they are in park. Only the correct gas nozzle fits in the tank. Bar-coded merchandise controls cash register errors. Baggage screening devices prohibit bags that are too large for the overhead compartments from passing through. Trash bins at restaurants are too small for the reusable food baskets to pass through. One example of warning device is software that confirms an unusual choice. User is asked to confirm such things as closing without saving. So if by mistake you are about to close a file without saving, it will warn you. Deleting a record, also if you are about to delete a record, it will ask you whether you are sure about deleting the record or not. And changing to an accounting field, which is normally computed automatically. So it also confirms your choice. Buzzer when seat belt is unfastened is another everyday example. Warning light when smooth top stuff is still warm, and patient in a hospital writing on the healthy arm, not this arm. In hospitals, you also see that oxygen and nitrogen cylinders, they have different types of connections. So even by mistake, you cannot interconnect them, and this will of course prevent a major mistake or major error. So these are some of the examples of mistake-proofing devices. Let us talk about shutdown devices in mistake-proofing. Guarding against unauthorized access, you would have seen that account is deactivated in an ATM if a user incorrectly enters the password more than 3 times. This is an example of shutdown device. Coffee pots and irons shut down after an hour automatically. Garage doors and car windows won't shut if an object is in the way. These are some examples of shutdown devices. Automation is about shutting down the devices, which results in stopping the process if a defect is detected. Automation means automation with a human touch. It helps to build quality into the product or the service. It also helps to guarantee that only 10% quality is produced. When a problem is detected, it stops the process automatically or with the intervention of the operator until the situation is corrected. This will prevent you from working on the product. So, in case you detect an error or a defect in the product, it will stop the machine, ask you to rectify that error or mistake before you proceed further. It also prevents the recurrence of production abnormalities. To summarize the continuum of devices of Poka Yoke from preventive to reactive, let us have a look at the slide. Obviously, the control devices are preventive and reactive are shutdown devices. Control devices prevent the cause of an error from occurring. Warning devices warn that an error has occurred, and shutdown devices, they shut down the process when defect occurs. Let us take two examples, one from service industry and one from manufacturing industry. The service industry example, possible error is the wrong password entered for an ATM transaction. Control device would be ATM machine only accepts a set number of digits. Warning device could be ATM notifies users that password has been incorrectly entered, and a shutdown device could be ATM transaction is deactivated if user incorrectly enters the password more than 3 times. To take a manufacturing example, the possible error here is cut wood strips don't meet the specifications. Control device would be wood strip cutting machine has a stop mechanism that prevents the overloading of feed material. Warning device could be alarm sounds if the overloading occurs, and the shutdown device could be machine stops if cut length and width deviate from the specifications. So that was all about Poka Yoke, mistake proofing or foolproofing.